We're just jumping right in here, and I love how just immediately you get some sense of Ratchet's character. I think it's really impressive for as old as this game is that they were able to do that without him saying anything.
Final step, attach robotic ignition system. Thank you for using help desk technology.
You get the impression here he's just kind of an inventor, gadgeteer, doing some homebrew, doing it on his own. I like that a lot. Also, I love that wrench, the Versa wrench. I'll talk more about that. Here we go with, at least as of right now, what we know to be the birth of Clank. Massive robot. Nope, sorry. Not massive robot. We've kicked out something a little different. The animation on him is just fun. This is a part that bugs me a little bit. He walks over, sees that clearly it's something. We don't really know anything yet. And because he doesn't comment there on what he just saw or that he saw something that mattered, it comes up here shortly, but we don't really know, exactly what happened there. I feel like that's kind of a miss in the narrative of these opening scenes here. Forgivable, but something a little different. We will be going back to this planet, however. These jump cuts as well, they're not the best. Now, I realize probably they had to do that to keep things flowing with these cutscenes. It could have been a technical limitation. It breaks the flow a little bit. It's not world-ending by any means. I mean, it keeps you in the action and stuff still clearly happening. So, that's fine by me, but again, just kind of breaks it up a little bit. Back to Ratchet here. Aww. Okay, I can't help it. That's actually a really cute little Clank thing there. Now, Ratchet's first decision here may not be the same decision I would have, in the sense that when you see something falling from the sky, do you go explore it, or do you run as far away as humanly fucking possible? I've seen enough sci-fi and horror movies. I'm pretty sure you get out of there as fast as you can. But you know what? This is a little cartoony fun world, so clearly. And, he's got this big badass wrench. As you can see here, the Versatech Omni Wrench. It gets designed a little bit better in later games, but it is easily my favorite thing. Ah, okay, hold on. That is one thing I'm gonna have to do real quick. Oh, shit. Yeah. I'm gonna have to change the camera around to what I normally go with. Normal in this is inverted. So what I like, what I feel is normal is what they would consider inverted. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. A little bit of character immediately, too, for Ratchet here. This is his home. You see, it's basically a garage. Some little nods as to what he's doing here. Little power source, some other nebulous and tools there. A little bit of hero worship as well. We'll just look up here. Captain Quark. Clearly, he's kind of important. Very super heroic. Space heroic, in a way. Also, lots of fun crates and boxes, which, well, if you don't like breaking open boxes with a wrench, Ratchet and Clank is probably not going to be the game for you. As I said earlier, I beat this a couple of times. I have lots of tools. I'm basically Super Ratchet right now. I'm going for the Million Bolts trophy on my way to the Platinum. That's really the only thing I'm missing, that and buying a couple of the other gold ones. Little frog enemies there. No match for the wrench. So, it's better off, or you're better off, to go through the game and beat it a couple of times, as opposed to grinding for the bolts, because a lot of these boxes you just saw me break, no more in that area, won't return. If I come back through this area later on, or any other level like that, they're just gone. In fact, some of the enemies disappear too. It's great for when you're grinding for little secret locations, but when you need a million bolts, that's kind of annoying, and I think that's something they really addressed in later games, where they made it easier to get those bolt totals. But for now, we'll keep going. I've probably, between what I've spent on previous games and previous playthroughs, rather, probably collected around 400,000 or 500,000. I'm hoping somewhere in that range. I bought the Rhino. That's a clear 150,000. Going through 2 games worth of gadgets and things. Hopefully. These little guys are no trouble at all. Little frog hoppers that will try and bite me, but I get to smack vermin with a wrench, which is always fun. The gameplay is not quite as dialed in as it is in later games. It's getting there. It's sort of like a 75% of what was, whoa, shit, I almost died there, of, 100. I did not, oh shit, play these games. Almost took a bite there. I did not play these games back when they were out on the PS2, for whatever reason, and that was a miss on my part. I kind of suck at playing this while talking, apparently. Also, I kind of regret not playing those games back in the day. The first Ratchet and Clank game I ever got a chance to play was actually the first one on PS3. I forget the exact title. I want to say Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction. So, but yeah, and I loved it. I fell in love with it immediately from the second I played the demo of it. It was just amazing. It was like playing a Pixar game. The graphics were just so pretty watching it go through. The gameplay was just so fun and dialed in. So I played through pretty much everything that's available on the PS3 in that regard. Thought it'd be fun to come back to this. This is, of course, the HD remaster. A few differences, of course, in the way the menus are presented and everything. Graphically, everything's clearly upscaled a bit. I think everything translated really well. It's a very, very pretty game. You can take a minute here and just look at some of these environments. They're very sci-fi in a cartoony way. I feel like they did a really, really good job creating all of these different worlds and environments. I'll probably say that a few more times as we go through. I just feel like they really did a good job. And there's sort of a theme you can explore in each planet if you want. So, while the gameplay was still getting figured out a little bit... Okay, what's this guy do? Oh, nothing much. Thematically, musically, everything else, I think, was really just dialed in from the beginning, and I think that's really impressive. I'll talk more about it here in a second when we get to the first voice acting portion. Or the rather first voiceover lines between Ratchet and Clank themselves, but ultimately, I'm quite proud. So normally here, I would start off with this weapon here, the bomb glove. That would be my first toy I would pick up quickly. I think in this instance, I can't even remember if I start with it. It's been that long since I played through, just a completely blank playthrough to begin with. Whenever possible, I prefer to wrench those guys. The wrench slam I just did, jumping wrench slam, is a pretty powerful attack. It's the equivalent of 2 regular wrench swings. These guys, you can see, they have clearly very limited range. The second weapon you get is the Pyrocitor. Now, I've upgraded this to the Gold Pyrocitor. This is what you want to use when you want to kill it with fire. These guys aren't really the best target for that. The third weapon you get, somehow, is the Blaster. Normally, that's what you start with, at least the PS3 era, but for now, I finally got it. Let's have some fun. The gold version of the Blaster, anytime you hit something, it bounces off, and you get a free little bonus potential hit there. That's kind of fun. Yep, here we go. We have found the crash site and our little buddy. Mine, saith the Ratchet.
Interesting.
Yay!
You're quite handy with your wrench.
You bet. I built that ship with it.
Currently, I'm in search of someone who could be of assistance in saving the solar system. Do you know where I
Yeah,
might
just
find
dive right in there, Clank. No
I was
preamble.
on the radio every week. Other than that, no. Hey, what's with all this save the solar system stuff?
I do really like, and I said I'd come back to this, and I think now's the time. Oh, there's Chairman Drek, the bad guy.
My race, the blog, have a small problem.
I'll go and talk about him first. This guy, I do like his voice acting performance as well. Really, I like all of them in this game. I think they're very well done, which voice acting, voice performance was not as thought of back in the early thousands, which is when this came out. So to have direction of this quality at that time and acting and voicing of this quality is really impressive to me.
We'll be extracting a large portion of your planet and adding it to our new one. Unfortunately,
In addition to his nefarious plan, Chairman Drek here, you just immediately know he's just scum. This guy's just a slime ball. I mean, everything you can hate about him, you hate about him.
sacrifices must be made. Thank you for your cooperation.
Cut!
And if you don't like it, you can take your whiny, sniveling, snot-nosed populations, form a line behind me, and kiss my...
Oh, there you go. And the further proof that he's a complete douchebag, the ponytail. Something about that ponytail just screams, I am the biggest D-bag in the galaxy. Which, you know,
Captain Quark to help you.
evil plans having already been revealed, we kind of knew that, but that really cements it for me.
I might be able to gather further information there.
Even if I want.
I really like, too, just how dialed in Ratchet and Clank's voice actors were in this performance. Obviously, they get settled into the roles a little bit more over the course of further games, but especially Clank right here, they are themselves. I mean, from day one, it's really there. So much of this game just was together from the beginning. That really impresses me as a fan of games, but also as a fan of animated series. If you watch the beginning episodes of an animated series versus later episodes, you really see a huge improvement and change in how things are happening. Voice acting, animation quality, pacing, plot, story. There's very few things that start off right in mid-stride. Oh, shadowy ominous figure. Who is he? Huh. Have we seen him before? We're not going to tell you.
That's where I've been stuck this whole time.
Please return your appendages to the steering.
That's interesting to me, too, because we don't really know much about Ratchet, and we don't really learn anything about Ratchet in this game. We know he was on that planet. He says stuck the whole time. How did he get there? Is he from there? I guess it's kind of his home. At this point, we don't even know what Ratchet is, which is interesting because that becomes a main plot point in later games. Right now, of course, we don't know that, but Ratchet is a Lombax. That's a thing. There's not many Lombaxes around in the universe. In fact, he's often thought of to be the only one. I think maybe you encounter 2 more throughout the entire playthroughs. I only know of one. I thought I heard of a second one that I might encounter somewhere in these PS2 games, but it's something I'm hoping to find out. That's a good maniacal laugh. That is a really good, believable maniacal laugh. It is so easy to force one of those. So, I like that one.
Now officially worn out your welcome, and...
But yeah, talking about animated series and how it takes them a while to find their stride, very few of them really start right in the middle of their stride. You look at the original Simpsons episodes, all the way back on the Tracy Ullman Show. The way the voice acting changed, the way everything was about it, they are so completely different, even from the first season. And then the first season is so completely different from later. I mean, the voices don't even really sound the same. The same is true of, say, Family Guy. In fact, Family Guy was aware of it. Poor Ratchet. This guy crashes a lot of ships, and that's, I like how it kind of, helps illustrate more of Ratchet's character in the sense that he's doing that homebrew, he's an inventor, doing his thing, but his stuff's a little bit jury-rigged, and can kind of blow up a bit here and there. So, well, yeah, let's dive right into the gameplay. This is Novalis, as I like to call it. Call it my map here. You have a couple of paths. Obviously, I have all the tools so I can see the secret areas. The game does a really good job of telling you, oh, hey, there's something interesting here. In this case, there's a question mark, there's a question mark, and here's just some area I could explore. I'm going to hit all 3 of these. Try to run through them fairly quick. Let's see what to start with first. Well, I can't get... Oh, actually, yeah, here we go. Nice little area here. Now, I do have all my toys and weapons, but I don't have all my gadgets. The reason being, in this game, gadgets are something you sort of have to earn and help you get to the next area. So that maintains the integrity of game progression. Ugh, get up there. Another one of my favorite little things. Obviously, I have this little Versa wrench, Gadgetron, Versa wrench. I have a giant wrench. Let's have a gameplay mechanic that uses that with a giant bolt. I also have an incredibly useful thing that you pick up later in the game. The bolt collector or tractor, I forget what it's called in this one. Basically, it means all these bolts just sort of gravitate towards me and I don't have to worry about picking them all up. These guys aren't so bad as enemies. Thwop. Thwop. Oh, come back here, you motherfucker. Things Ratchet probably has never actually said to a villain. So, yeah, going back as I do to the point I really was making earlier. It's just interesting to me that, like I said, even Family Guy called out that it took them a while to hit their stride. And they mentioned The Simpsons, too. In fact, I think they have a call-out joke to that at some point. Futurama, on the other hand, started... It was Futurama from day one. Matt Groening, I remember... What the hell? That was a little glitch there, hanging onto an invisible mushroom. Matt Groening, even in the commentary on the first episode, talks about it. And he was pretty proud of that. And I can see definitely where it's coming from. I've learned a lot from those kind of commentaries. So anyway, rambling point being made that I'm just impressed with, again, how good this is from the start. So, swimming is a big part of this game, as well as managing water levels. A lot of puzzles involving that. Ratchet doesn't have a whole lot of lung capacity. He's not a very big creature. That's actually something you'll notice playing through, too. A lot of times, you have to jump up what might be normal steps for another alien. Oh, these little guys. Ah, I was hoping I'd get lucky there. No such luck. I think... yeah. A lot of little destructible objects around here that you can get some bolts from. Actually, I'll try these guys too. Because again, the main point of this playthrough is getting them bolts. Yeah, with the O2 meters being, at least early game, a factor, you really have to haul it when you're doing any of these segments. No time for dilly-dallying. That said, later on, you do get sort of an O2 mask that lets you breathe underwater, which lets you really explore those areas for the things you're missing. Okay, so there we go. That was that little hidden area. Not much happening there, just a chance to get some bolts, which at this point is a pretty valid thing. Definitely a lot of platforming happening in this game. Nice little touch there. Eventually I'll go back down into that water pool and you'll be able to see that I'll just slide right down. Later on, I'll also get... Ratchet does have his double jump from the beginning, which is nice. But later on, I'll also get some Clank attachments like a helicopter pack and a thruster pack. Those will be of supreme usefulness. This is another little room filled with just random gadgets, pumps, and things doing things. We don't know what they're doing, but... kind of interesting that these don't hurt you. You'd figure they would, but no worries there. Let's see, we'll just jump across here, take care of this guy. He has a very limited range. I really could and should be taking him out with weapons other than the wrench, but I don't really need to. There's a lot of weapons on this game that I never really used. Some of them are very useful in specific situations. Oh, shit. And some of them never really mattered to me. I know some people who swear by the Tesla Claw. I never even used it. I didn't even buy it on my first playthrough. I was saving up for the Rhino. That said, though, I think there's a lot of, you know, just realm for personal choice there. Use the tools you like and enjoy, and they give you a lot to work with. If you heard me just jump there, that's because my cat is getting bitey. Aiko, say hi, and then quit being a butthead. Yep, hold on. Okay. Chill out, buddy. Aiko, our podcat there. Oh, damn. For some reason, I played that intuitively as though I still had the helicopter pack. I clearly do not. I don't think there's even anything up here. There's just a little random, yeah. Random piston. No real purpose to it. I like that even if we don't know what's happening in these areas, they feel like they have a purpose, even if we don't understand what it is. Like, clearly there's a lot of little pistons and pressure gauges and water. This is, I guess, maybe the waterworks of the planet, but it has a purpose. Besides just making for a cool little platforming area. Oop. narrow pathway there. If you see the camera moving to follow me, that's actually camera manipulation on my part. That's something you have to get pretty good at in this game. The camera will actually fight you at times and give you bad angles.
Blast it!
Look.
Here we go, recurring character.
I said, look, the plumber's back.
All right.
The plumber. This guy shows up all throughout later games. He looks a little different. I feel like even they may have changed his species. But, yeah, he's been an enduring thing. I like actually what they did more with him later. Here, he's just kind of a straight-up plumber, but later, he starts to become a source of wisdom. Sort of a sage, if you will.
Got anything worth a lot of bolts?
I got this thing. Shows two weirdos ditching their ship. It's got coordinates to a desert planet, too.
Here's another big plot element of the game. You'll be searching for these infobots and buying them off of people, or tracking them down. These give you clues as to your next destination, what you might need, what you might find. This is the other part of plot progression. Woohoo! That's kind of fun.
Sewer pipe?
Like the Ratchet just blatantly calls that out.
Mayday, mayday! This is the solar ship Radical.
So, I like this element too. It's sort of a thematic way of telling you, okay, you have nowhere to go next, or at least don't know where to go. But hey, you found this, so here's a clue. Give it a go. Encouraging exploration of the galaxy, as well as trying to figure out where you're going to save the universe. Which, if you listen carefully to these scenes, Ratchet's not even 100% on board with trying to save the universe yet. Like, he doesn't
Did you see that guy on the left?
even believe it's in danger. Clank is on board from day one, and the much more altruistic of the two at this point. Ratchet sort of grows into it, but Ratchet, you get the feeling, has been alone for a long time. So he's kind of getting used to things like that. So now we have info for planet Iridia. We also got some boxes over here. Feels like I'm getting a pretty good amount of bolts out of this. I didn't look at my starting totals until I had about 34,000. So I don't know what I had before I started this playthrough, but... Ooh, actually, wait, can I break that thing? Nope. Alright. Down the pipe we go, back to where we started this little jaunt. That's something else I like, is they give you quick ways back once you've been through something. So instead of having to navigate all that, I just had that quick little jaunt. Another thing worth highlighting, here's the Gadgetron. This is where you would buy weapons, and it's not even... Okay, apparently it just doesn't even want to acknowledge that I'm here yet. So, that might be plot relevant. It may not pop till later. So take this elevator down into the main section of this planet, and have a little fun smacking things with a wrench. The tune on this planet is really catchy. It's got that little funky bass rhythm. It's hard not to sing along with it, really. I'm gonna do my best not to. Normally I would. Hopefully it'll come through on this. I have the volume turned down pretty low from the gameplay volume. This game is, for some reason, very loud. Like, it just wants to... Oh, come back here, you jetpack motherfucker. There we go. It just wants to be really loud when you start it up, so you have to turn the volume down compared to what you'd normally be playing on. This bolt collector is clearly one of the best things in the game. They slightly gravitate towards you in this game, even then, but this really ups that distance and makes life a lot easier. It's really just good, smooth combat animation on all this, too, with what they're doing. I mean, they're locked into their attacks, very formulaic, but when they go somewhere, do something, or make nice little explosions, I enjoy that. Go ahead and get this here. There's a secret area in through there. I cannot get to it yet. Also, this little thing here, we can't do anything with it yet. That's actually something called a sand mouse. I feel like it was sort of the prototype for Mr. Zircon in later games. But if you have a specific helmet, you can summon him. He'll pop out for a while, fly around, and shoot stuff. He's pretty effective. There's certain areas where it's a lot of fun to use him. Okay. One other thing I like, too, is that environments clearly can be altered by attacks, by other things. Changing things up. You think you're running this way, and then you have to run a different way. Oh. Ah, Devastator ammo. The Devastator is probably one of the most important weapons in this game. In fact, I'm gonna have a little fun with it right now. I have the gold one, so it spits out additional rockets. Going into first-person view here, you can lock onto your target. Goodbye! Nice little radius there. Kicks out extra missiles because of the gold version. Just good for causing havoc. Oh, hey. Glad I turned around. So far, I haven't run into the trap yet. In fact, I haven't seen a single exploding box, I don't think. Something they like to do, and why I get in the habit later on of throwing my wrench at things, or at least large boxes, stacks, instead of hitting them manually, is they like to hide explosive boxes in those. They're really tricky that way. You know what? That was kind of fun with the Devastator. Let's see if I can get 3 in one blow here. 2. 3. Yes!
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Oh, what are you? Mercenaries? Torturers? Assassins? I'll tell you anything. Here, take my infobot. It's all I've got left.
Sir, we're not assassins.
Hold on. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, there's clearly a little bit of opportunism or opportunistic streak in Ratchet there.
Has this ever happened to you? Hi, I'm Captain Quark, and believe me, there's nothing worse than staring down a Blargian snagglebeast from the inside and knowing your equipment isn't functioning properly. That's why I come to Al's Robo Shack for all
I love how
my
freaked out Big Al there is.
Al has been the exclusive repair shop for my super.
It's supposed to be because Al's a little like, oh, you know, hero worship, scared, whatever. I personally like to believe that it's because Captain Quark has incredibly bad body odor.
You said it, pal. So if you're fighting crime, or just fighting grime, come to Al's Robo Shack in Metropolis for all your robotic repairs. Al's Robo Shack, it's Quarktastic!
I hope that I am never Quarktastic. Whatever that is, I don't want to be it.
Really sold out.
No, it means Captain.
And you are correct, Ratchet. Captain Quark is basically, I think we can go ahead and reveal this now,
A ship? What?
a giant space douchebag. Imagine Buzz Lightyear if Buzz Lightyear was just a complete shallow coward dickhead who had somehow made a name for himself.
Thank you, Your.
That's pretty much Captain Quark.
Shippiness.
Let's see here. Put it back on the blaster for a while. Make sure to get the last little bit of these bolts, because that's the mission. I kind of like this ship, too. I don't know exactly what I would call it. It feels like sort of like a cargo hauler or something. But the more I've played through this, it's managed to keep me really interested in just the general designs of things. And again, you can see right here, I talked about, here's an easy path back. The game is really good about giving you that. This little bit right here, this is where I'd go to get the other gold weapons. I have, I think, 5 of them. There's 5 more to get. Not going to worry about that just yet. My next ship upgrade here, a little courier vessel. As you heard the old guy talk about, it's not much to look at or do anything, but it'll get you from A to B. It's pretty much the galactic ghetto-mobile, but hey, it'll do the job. So let's go to, next on the list, Iridia.